We told you in the last half hour, President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill finally passed the House this afternoon and will soon go to the president's desk tomorrow. The bill is also expected to impact a major centerpiece in Northern Virginia. Space Shuttle Discovery has been at the Smithsonian's Udvar-Hazy Center in Chantilly for 13 years. But the legislation calls for the shuttle to move down to Texas. Our Matthew Torres is joining us live at the Capitol, where reaction to even the idea of relocation was already quite fierce. Matthew?
Yeah, Simone, so this is what the bill is calling for. But keep in mind, the Smithsonian Museum, it appears they're not going to let go of the Discovery without a fight. They've been arguing that the space shuttle was not a loan to them from NASA. Rather, they're the ones who own it. Propped up in all its glory,
it's just awesome.
Space Shuttle Discovery is a reminder of our country's mission to explore new heights.
When you walk in and you see the presence of Discovery, it's really amazing.
13 years since calling the National Air and Space Museum in Virginia home, Space Shuttle Discovery may now find itself in the orbit of the Lone Star State.
I don't really like to get into politics, but I disagree that this should move. I think that it's been here, it should stay here.
Now that the so-called Big Beautiful Bill passed the final hurdle on the House floor, the shuttle is supposed to relocate to NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston. Texas Senators John Cornyn and Ted Cruz pushed the move, saying Houston has long been the cornerstone of our nation's human space exploration program. And it's long overdue for Space City to receive the recognition it deserves by bringing the Space Shuttle Discovery home. But critics, including those who attended the 2012 unveiling ceremony, argue otherwise.
The Air and Space Museum is the United States Air Museum. And that's where I believe that the shuttle belongs, especially that one.
Moving the large artifact is expected to come with a large price tag. The bill calls for $85 million, but the Smithsonian anticipates $300 to $400 million instead.
This is why people hate politicians, is because they do stuff like this. It's going to cost taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars. It's going to be a really sad day for our community when that space shuttle gets taken away from us.
The Smithsonian fears the relocation will damage the Discovery, lose donors, and disappoint the 1.2 million annual visitors who have seen some sort of a shuttle at the center for 21 years.
We're talking about trying to make things better here in the United States. Why are we spending that money to move something that should remain here and be part of Virginia?
And the Smithsonian says they treat their collections not as government property rather than a trust by the Smithsonian control. It appears what will happen next could really change, even though this bill is expected to be signed by President Donald Trump. They also say that the Smithsonian here in Virginia already have the facilities and they've already invested to make sure that they can preserve this space shuttle for generations to come. Simone.
All right. Matthew Torres reporting for us tonight. Thank you.